Alright, go.
So just to make sure about everything,
My,
um,
my, my, just cut out.
I did not cut out. Okay. But anyways, just to make sure of everything, okay, I want to go over a couple of things that are quite important. Now, I've noticed that a lot of people who want to do training sessions. Now, the training room, luckily, is coming next patch. So, everybody give Wargaming a round of big applause. Please, please, everybody give a round of applause. Yay! Wargaming has officially bring in training room coming next patch. So, our lives are going to be a lot easier now. So we're going to start training sessions a little bit more often now instead of trying to explain to everybody individually on how to implement the training room and go through the coding. So that's officially going to end, and we'll have training sessions pretty much I'm thinking every Saturday nights, just to have people sort of understand cruisers, destroyers, battleships, where to hit citadels, how to hit them in different angles and all that. And we're going to do some basic firing sessions, carrier training sessions for people who want to play carriers. I'll teach them in Spartius. I'm hoping we'll be willing enough to teach them as well, because he's pretty much either equal or better skill in carriers than I am. So we're going to go through that. Another thing is website usage. I get it, Major Steel has a very fucking complicated website, but please at least try to use the basics. Every room up on Warships has basically our website homepage, our calendar, so you can see what events are coming up, and what you really want to look at is our community forums, and also our calendar event, Warships calendar event. If you go through those two, you've pretty much got everything down packed. All the events are on there, all the most shit that you need to know is pretty much on those two. Pretty much fuck the rest, okay? Unless you want to go to the homepage, then and whatever. But I have also another thing that I have right now is a Fletcher contest going on. I'm not sure if you guys recently heard about it. I'm giving away my 1/350 scale Fletcher to you all, whoever wants to win it. Contest consists of basically you guys have to get the highest damage in a Fletcher. I'm going to be doing these a little bit more often now that I have the chance, now that Christmas is over. I'm going to be giving more and more stuff away. If you guys are looking for the webpage, it's right here. And that's a direct link, by the way. And also, if you want my email address, which you have to put in all 4 screenshots. Not one screenshot, all 4. I'm talking about from basically from the first preview, the personal scores and all that. You have to give me all 4 screenshots. That's my email address, by the way. So you basically have to give that out. So just keep that in tabs. If you guys want to win a 1/350 scale Fletcher, you have some images of it, and it's yours. I'll even case it, ship it. I don't care where you live. It's EU or NA. It includes everybody, so the contest is for everybody. Another thing I wanted to include, please try to come on TS and Division up. It's one of the most important aspects of this clan. And try to encourage other people to come in and Division up with you. If you see somebody alone, say, hey, you want to Division up? Yeah, sure. You know what I mean? Ask everybody in here. I'm not sure if you guys will agree with me or disagree with me, but do I come in and say, hey guys, do you want to Division up? Or does anybody want to Division up? Or are you busy? How are you doing? You know, I always try to encourage divisions. I always try to encourage better play. And I'm going to start showing you guys different places on a map to go. And if you have any questions about a ship in particular, carriers are a little bit difficult. No offense, Arctic Tiger. It's a little bit difficult to explain carriers, but, you know, it's basically look at AA values of ships and engage ships with less AA value. You know what I mean? Christine, you there? Okay, I guess she's not there. I guess I'm becoming already too boring. Okay.
Everybody leave? No.
Okay, I know. You guys can be assholes all you want later on. So like I said, try to encourage each other into divisioning. If you see somebody who's online that's in your clan, tell them to get the fuck on TS. And tell them you want to division up with them. You know what I mean? Get get this thing going because this is what brings in recruits. This is what brings in people. This is what encourages people to stay in. Okay, of course I get you killed, neighbor. Of course I do. But anyways, like I said, try to encourage people into coming into the TS a little bit more often. Um, Clan recruitment. Anybody can recruit players. If you see a good player, a player who's working with you, I don't care if he's got clan tags on him, send him a message and say, hey, are you willing to join a different clan? We're going on a recruiting spree. That's what I want to do. You know what I mean? I really want to go on a big recruiting spree, and I'll even pitch in some doubloons for people who do the most recruiting and the guys who stay in the most after that recruiting. So I want to try to get those people in here as much as possible. And I don't mean alternative accounts. Okay? Just get that one straight.
Mike, I got a question.
Sure.
Now, are you recruiting for certain levels of play, or are you
I want to
recruiting anybody and anybody?
I would really like to recruit for a certain level of play, but seeing as that we're social clan, I'm planning on lowering the bar, but I don't want to lower the bar too much. And I'm seeing a lot more newer players in warships right now. I'm seeing a lot of statistically, there's a lot more players, I don't know, in the past 5 months or so that are around 1,500 battles give
User
plus or
joined your
minus.
channel.
I'm not really seeing any more players that are at like 4, 5, 6, 7, 10,000 battles anymore. Those guys are gone. Those guys have either decided they're tired of the game or they're going to keep playing the game. You know what I mean? And those guys have already created, joined, and built their clans up to what they wanted them to be. You understand? This is what I'm talking about, like OPG, APOC, TSF, FOG, the whole shebang. You know what I mean? So,
I think there's a lot of recruits to be had that didn't make Typhoon last year. I think a lot of clans filled up with people trying to play. And, that top 6% that made Typhoon League, they're probably teams that are going to be steady, but I think there's a lot that we can grab from other places.
yeah, exactly. We can grab from other clans. And I'm not saying this because, listen, we're competitive as in terms of a clan recruitment aspect, okay? We want to get members in here. I don't care if they're coming from different clans. I want them.
User was moved to your
I
channel.
want to have clans in here, okay? I want to have more people in this clan coming here right now. That is my goal because right now I'm seeing the membership lowering. I know people are still on vacation and it's still winter. It's a little bit of a dead season. I get the concept of it.
User
But
joined your channel.
I'm also seeing people who are in the clans who are not coming on TS, who are divisioning alone all the time, who are not participating. That's not what I want. I want people to come in, and I'm seeing the same old people over and over again. So I want to bring in new blood. I want to bring in some new people. So we're going to set a bar that's fairly low.
User joined your
But
channel.
we're not going to set the bar so low to the point that it's guys who basically come in and they just leave because they don't find they're good enough. I want to set the bar low enough, but we have to work with them based
User
on their
left
skill
your
level.
channel.
So
User joined your channel.
what I want to do is I want to try to have it where we recruit people in, and those newer players play with some players. Let's say they're tier 4 players, okay, and you're a tier 6 player, okay, that you mostly play tier 6s, whatever. So you want to maybe division up with those tier 4 players and bring them up to speed because they feel on level with you. Comparison to me going down there and doing 180k damage or 110k damage, okay, and they're doing, let's say, 20, 30,000, they're not learning with somebody who's almost on their level. They're learning who's somebody who's so much more advanced than that they feel less
Intimidated.
They feel intimidated almost that they're not good enough to be in this clan. And that's where I want to drop that margin a little bit more.
I disagree, Mike. I disagree.
You might disagree because, Bradis,
Because
you see other people. You don't see what I see, though.
whenever I joined the clan, initially, I was one of those players that only got 20, 30,000. And I was sick of it. I wanted to improve. The only way I was going to improve was playing with someone of a higher caliber, having them point out and give direction on where I needed to go. I need to position here or
Yeah, but I
aim there.
absolutely, I understand that 110%. Some people are willing to learn, but some people they want to play for fun. You understand? But they want to improve, but they just want to play for fun, and they don't want a division with higher caliber players. They want a division up with somebody who's on the same caliber as them, who will do almost the same as them, and they feel that they're on par with them. You understand? It's just different mentalities now. You have to acquaint the different mentalities, and that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to switch up the mentality a little bit of how we're going to do this. Now, this aspect comes with, obviously, officers sort of donating a little bit of time. So now we're talking about officers that we're going to need new officers, okay? And this is what I'm looking towards to go to. Now, I'm willing to give out officers tags, but you're going to have to fill out those obligations as an officer. This not only includes recruitment, but this includes helping those new recruits as well. You understand? Everybody in here, what was the first thing I did with you guys the first day that you came in here?
Played a battle.
Told me the rules.
Told us the rules, made bad jokes, dissed
Absolutely.
my mom.
Okay, absolutely, absolutely, the whole 9 yards, because you got to be thick-skinned to get in here. So I'm testing you out. But what else am I also testing you on?
Hey,
What
wake up.
your level of gameplay is. So we need to test out these new recruits to see where they're at and where we can help them out. You understand?
Yeah, I'll say straight up, when I started here, I had just reached tier 7, and I was only making like 25, 30,000 to battle.
At
Like,
this
I
point?
started off as crap. Yeah.
And now what are you at about, give or take?
Well, depends on the tier, but at tier 7, I'm averaging like 80, 90,000 a game in a cruiser.
See, that's an improvement right there. But we can improve all this aspect through division with each other and through playing with each other. And the better off you get, so let's say, Rob, let's say right now, okay? You've been playing with me and some of the higher tier, the more knowledgeable players, I would say, okay, towards the game, and who are a little bit higher of a skill set. I don't want to be degrading anybody here, but I'm just saying as an aspect, there are obviously some of us that are a little bit better than others at the game itself, you know? I'm not going to say that, I'm not on, I'll say it straight out. I'm not on par on DDs as Spartius is, or like One-Eyed Pigleg is. You know what I mean? I'm not on par. I don't know. I'm not even as good as them. Okay, or J-Mac in cruisers. He's fucking phenomenal in cruisers, comparison to me. He'll rip me apart. So, I understand where my skill level is, but I'm always looking to improve with better players than me. But at the same time, I feel that some players who come in get intimidated and then they leave and then they don't come back. So,
Well, one hard thing is actually getting lower tier divisions going.
yeah. So,
Because I've noticed that when I want to play low tier stuff, a lot of people are like, oh, I only want to play tiers 8, 9, 10.
yeah,
Sounds like most.
yeah. It sounds like most of the supremacy guys we can say.
But guys, it was during clan battles and it was during supremacy, so there was reasons for that.
Yeah.
No, I mean currently. I mean I've been having a little bit better luck, but it's like a select couple of people I can get dragged down to lower tiers. It's like
Yeah, I will drag down to lower tiers at some points, but I have expectations, which I
No, I
have
mean-
to degrade myself of those expectations of people being able to do as good as J-Mac, Fish, One-Eyed, and
No, I mean I also
Rip
get the
apart.
people want. Oh, now I also get the people want to run higher tier stuff to make money, but running higher tier consistently, like that's the only thing you're on, gets kind of old. When every time I'm in a division, hey, let's go run some 9s. Let's go.
That's because they gave you a shift reference money.
Yeah, let's say with me, right, I could earn, comparison to tier 6 of earning 30,000 credits. I'm not like I need them, but comparison to credit earning of, let's say, 30,000 in tier 6, I could earn almost 400,000, 500,000 in tier 10. You know, I'm just saying, as an aspect. I'm giving an example right now. So, but that, I'm going to retaliate myself on and bring myself back from that. But I am planning on promoting some new officers out there, and those new officers will have to division up with people in their clan, constantly maintaining their clan and constantly making sure their members are there and on TS. If they're not on TS, they need to notify them. They need to tell them, hey, why aren't you on TS? I understand you can't be on all the time, but for fuck's sakes, if I see you on 90% of the time, and you're just there to say, okay, I'm in a clan just to reap the benefits. That's what I hate the most. I don't like when people reap the benefits of the clan. You know what I mean? It's just not fun for me at that point. This is not what a clan is. The clan is there to have some fun together as a unit.
And to work together as
and
well.
to work together and to better everybody else. You know what I mean? To help each other out as much as possible. That's what I wanted to build as a clan. Okay? So that's what we're looking forward to.
It's not that you can't reap the benefits of the clan, it's just you need to put in a little bit of effort and work to help the clan to reap the benefits.
Yeah, exactly.
And to improve.
And to improve yourself, exactly. So if you're just saying to yourself, well, I'm tired of divisioning up alone, but then after that you're not on TS, and you tell me, well, nobody's on TS at 2 o'clock in the morning, at 1 or 2, like 3, 4 in the morning Eastern. Well, no shit, Sherlock.
Everybody's just either waking
sleeping.
up or getting ready. Everybody's just getting ready for work, at that time.
I'm always up late.
Yeah, I run across a lot of people who primarily play late Eastern time, at least.
Yeah, there's people all over the globe, and people have different schedules. So typically, though, there's people in TeamSpeak at even weird hours.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Like if we're not on, the EU guys are on. You know what I mean? There's always somebody on at some point in time. Like, I've been up until 4 o'clock in the morning. The EU guys are already up and playing. It's fucking phenomenal. You know?
Yeah, they're all sleeping right
I
now.
have a question. Do you need a EU account to play with the EU guys?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You need even
Yes.
a second client for warships, unless you have the mod where you could switch clients. Highly doubt that works sometimes. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
It does, but
Works
there's
just fine.
some clan issues. There's a couple of bugs. So it's best if you have the full client.
Yeah.
Yeah, accessing your premium shop, accessing some of your settings are goofed up if you used Aslan's mod.
So, I would like for Spartius to post something, if you don't mind. I would like for Spartius to post his beautiful spreadsheet, what this guy is phenomenal at doing, and I give credit where it's due.
He's a nerd.
He's a nerd at the spreadsheets. This is our most amazing organizer of the clan. He's fairly new. He's from NGA that we played with in Supremacy, and I was impressed with him, and he decided to come to us instead of going to some other clans. So if you guys were to press the lovely link on the Google spreadsheet, you're going to see something a little bit new.
This is the big one. This is the one you wanted to show them, right?
Yeah, it's the one with the clan.
Ooh.
The ship quals?
Yeah.
Yeah, the ship calls. Now,
Okay.
we have some new stuff for clan battles.
It'll load.
Yeah, sure.
It'll take
It
a while
takes a
with a bunch
second,
of
but it
people
does
trying to look
load.
at it.
Yeah, it does
It's a
load.
dual calc. That's the reason.
Yeah. So what we have here is, let's say, put in 5D if you don't mind, Spartius.
It already says 5D in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do I see the spreadsheet?
Click on the link. It should.
And I disabled the ability for anybody to change the clan tag, the tier, the server for right now, but the stuff at the bottom still be messed with.
Yeah. So it's just this is a new aspect that we're working with, are these little spreadsheets that Spartius has, and what it is basically we have the ability to see overall data on everything when it comes to win rates, hit ratios, and everything for the entire clan in one shot. So we can see everybody, how well they're doing, and we can even do this on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, and an overall basis of how much you've improved. So it's really, really cool.
Oh, don't do that for me. I'll break your computer.
Having us all log on to this same time might be
Not the greatest.
overstressing it.
No, it's fully loaded for me.
It's loaded.
User.
Yeah,
Because
it's
I already
fully
had it
loaded for me.
preloaded. I was hoping that having it preloaded would help all that stuff out.
Mine's loaded.
Yeah.
Mine's
I can't
loaded.
get into the spreadsheet.
This should be. It's
should-
loaded for me.
I'm in there. Like I see Captain Destroyer up at the top. I see.
Yeah.
You see a bunch of like
I
color
can't
coding and
I can't
everything.
really see anything, but if you guys were to scroll to the bottom, you will notice at the fact that it does say it does say something like,
Stat
basically,
goals.
yeah, the stat polls. Okay. Let me try to get it here. Darn it! Which one is it? Is it SCR personal? No, it's not that one.
No, it's the ship
Oh, SCR
calls.
Personal is like super old. No.
Yeah.
I don't even think that one works anymore.
It does, but it
Oh.
takes forever for it to load.
I haven't messed with that one in forever.
Hey, look at that. I'm pink. I wonder why.
So, what you're looking at right now is the ability to have a spreadsheet, look at it all, and we can make judgment calls. Now, Spartius, if you can just, because I can't see it, if you can just
Yeah.
explain to them exactly what we were
Okay.
going through.
Mike, just refresh every once in a while. But while you're doing that, okay, you see in the C column where I've highlighted, those are everybody's names. When you enter a clan tag in cell B1 and a tier and a server, because this does work for the EU server as well, it pulls up every member of that clan. After that, this is why this sheet is so big and why it takes so long to load, is after it has everybody's name and their Wargaming ID number, it then pings Wargaming and says, I want every single ship statistic for that tier. And so in the background, and a bunch of hidden tabs, is every single player in 5D1, their tier 10 battle data for randoms. Once it has all that in there, and once it's fully processed that, it puts it through a set of filters. Those filters, they apply all the different statistics, create them from the raw data that we get from Wargaming, and then it sets them up against a series of stat goals. If you scroll down to what I have highlighted now, which is cells K65 to P68, you will see a series of different stat goals. Those stat
Slow it down,
goals.
Spartius, and just sort of
My bad. Okay.
slow it down because they're gonna get confused a little bit. Just...
Sorry, I talk a lot. So, but down there in the stat goals, it's divided up by aircraft carriers, battleship, cruiser, and destroyer. It takes all the data for your tier 10 ships, or whatever tier it's set at, and says, okay, do you meet these stat goals? There are 6 of them, 5 for carriers. For each one of those stat goals that you meet, you get a qualifying rank point, up to 6 maximum. And so we can sit there and say, okay, once we know how many stat goals you meet for each one of your ships, we can put them in order of which ones you're best at. So at the top, with all that color coding up there next to the names, ship 1 qualifying rank, that's your best ship and its qualifying rank, how many stat goals you have met, and then the other 4, because it shows your top 5 ships for tier 10. If you don't have any, then it doesn't show anything. If you have a bunch of ships but you don't meet any of the stat goals, then it shows 0, etc., etc. And then if you want to see much more of the behind the scenes data, you can actually select a ship, which somebody is doing. But it seems like a lot of people are doing select a ship, and you can see the actual breakdown. Now, if you're looking at that breakdown of everybody who has a Yamato currently, it says, wow, we keep changing it. Yeah, well, it says battles, win rate, average damage, average frags, which means your average number of kills.
Change the stuff and let him explain, please.
And it's cool.
I know you're anxious.
Okay.
Your survivability percent, your main battery, and then it tells you the qualifying ranks. Well, if you meet the stat goal at all, then it color codes it at green. If you exceed that stat goal by 10%, then it color codes it blue. If you exceed the stat goal by 20%, then it color codes it purple. So if you have 4 of those stat goals at green or better, then you have qualified. You need to get 4 out of the 6 on a ship to technically qualify. So if you look at the top, back of all that main stuff, every ship that is green, blue, or purple, a 4, 5, or 6 rating, those are ships that qualify.
And
If
I
you
think
don't
Mike
mind-
should take it back over at this point to go into the qualifications, what qualifications mean, specifically for 5D. 5D1, not 5D2, 3, or the others.
And one thing too, all of those stat goals are in the center of the page. That was based off of the average of all of our guys in the clan. Correct.
Correct.
Of 5D1, yes.
Of 5D1. So
we got the original numbers, which were actually higher than those, and we lowered them to a little bit more reasonable level.
Yeah.
So that way, not only the elite of the elite could meet them.
Yeah. So we're not saying that you guys are shit for not exceeding the stat goals. What we're saying is to be in 5D1, to be able to go versus, to have the qualifications to go versus these top clans and to beat them, it'll have a minimum requirement for these stat goals because these clans are not that easy to beat. Let me tell you, they work hard and they have higher stat goals than we do. It's not even funny. Like, their cruiser average damages are like 105,000 average instead of being 90. Their survivability rates in cruisers need to be like 65+%. It's insanity what they ask for. So we're not looking to be that insane, but we do have some quite high requirements to be able to say we're at least somewhat on par versus these clans, and we beat them with strategy. That's our goal behind it, is to beat them with strategy, then beat them with stats. Because they're beating teams with stats, we're beating them with strategy. That's what we like to go for.
And the requirements, and I don't mean to jump in anyway, Mike, but the requirements for the different groups, 5D2, 3, 4, 5, can all be altered, and they will be altered for how each one of those groups want to play. Correct?
If you scroll down, you can see their stat goals.
Yes.
Currently, they're all set to just equal 5D1. That way, if you search up the other clans, that you can see, if I changed it to 5D2, 3, or 4, 5, or 6, and would go through all the process of searching everything up again, then you would be able to see if you're in one of the other clans and see, do I meet the requirements to be in 5D1 competitively? And if we decide later on that we wanted to eventually have the different clans have their own individual stat goals, the functionality is there. But from what I understand, that's not necessarily where we're going.
Okay, so I just want to get for everybody to... Does everybody sort of understand what the spreadsheet's about exactly? For people who are necessarily looking to get into competitive, is there anybody here looking to get into competitive that's not into it right now? Or that's not in 5D1?
I would like to try it since I've got a little more time.
Yeah, okay, no problem. Is there anybody else?
I mean, I'd like to get better first.
Yeah, I mean, it's a goal for me, but I'm not there yet for sure.
Absolutely, we're not saying you need to mandate these goals, but these goals are by the next season. So, I hope you understand this. This is not right now. This is by next season, because we need to see what chips we can bring, what strategies we can adapt, what maps they're going to be on, because this season was a total throw-off, and other than like 4 top clans that had the opportunity to first play clan battles, nobody knew what they were bringing in. The maps we had no clue about till we had them. The strategies were completely thrown out the window as soon as they said no carriers, 1 battleship. So everything got thrown out the window as soon as we found out about all this. So right now what we're looking to do is build ourselves for next season, because everybody was asking for, what does it take to be in 5D1? That was the question this season. What does it take for me to be in 5D1? Well, now you have an answer. Not to be offensive to anybody, but now you have an answer. We will help you to bring you there. Okay?
And currently these are more so goals than requirements.
These are...
For 5D1, they are a requirement.
I'm sorry?
You got more Jim Beam if you want.
Oh, okay.
Please mute your mic.
I think that's Mike himself.
No, that's...
And even some of our guys in 5D1 that played Supremacy and played in clan battles, we still have work on the ships that we ran during clan battles. Not all of us are are at our requirement yet.
Yeah, from what I understand, Mike, when we first started talking about this, and he asked me to start making this, and I'm not happy with the sheet. It works, but it's so big and so massive that it runs into constant errors of cell replication, or it duplicates names and stuff because it's just so big that Google gets confused. So I have to find a way to compress this down and make it a little bit more efficient.
Well, right now, put it
But
this way, I can't even see the sheet because there's so many people on there, I guess, or something. But I can't even see anything on it right now.
I mean, I would like to be in competitive, but I want to get myself better than what I am now. That's my main concern about me. I want to get better. I want to be able to do what I need to do for the team and not, like accidentally fuck up. I mean, everybody has their
moments.
Like, yeah, so it's like I kind of want to get myself better and be able to handle situations better than what I do now, so I understand and I can cooperate and succeed better.
Yeah, absolutely, and I 100% agree with you that everybody should be looking towards that goal in every possible way. Now, I will, like I said, we will be hosting training sessions, and these are basic training sessions. This includes angling, this includes,
User joined your channel.
and I'm going to be hosting it every single week. One-Eyed has been kind enough to say that he'll work on DDs with people. So and he's a very good DD player, okay? I'm willing to help you shoot properly. Okay, that's one thing that a lot of people don't understand is how to shoot properly. If you bring your accuracy up, your damage goes up. If your damage goes up, everything else goes up. Okay? Your hit ratio and everything. Then we're going to start working on your survivability, which includes angles, which includes kiting. It includes a lot of things. Most of you probably, I'm not sure if you guys know this, but you can actually kite like a cruiser with a battleship.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I kite like a cruiser in a Montana or in a Conqueror. So you just can take more of a beating if you really wanted to. That's the
And actually, our practices and our trainings are key to guys who want to play competitive too, because the metrics a lot different than when you play random battles.
Yes, but the places to
Basics
go
are
in
the
randoms,
same.
the places to go in randoms will teach you that too. I'll eventually teach you guys that as well, as because a lot of people have been asking me, where do you go with your Des Moines? Well, I have like 3 Des Moines spots that I always go to on each map, and it's the places that I go in clan battles as well. So it's a great practice as well to learn these things, you know?
Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, but you only have to meet 4 out of the 6 goals, and if you have a Stalingrad flag, you're exempt. And you only have to meet 4 out of the 6 on one ship.
On one ship, that is correct.
Okay.
Now, remember this, guys. You might meet the stat requirements of that ship, absolutely. But one thing you'll need to understand is we might not be using that ship. Alright? If you are in clan battles, you need to understand. You need to understand communication too, teamwork. You need to understand how we talk, how we communicate, what we mean by everything, and the most important of all is you need to show up to practice. Because we go in with strategies and we go in hard with them. We go to the nearest we go to 0.1 kilometers of what we're talking about. Literally. And when we say something, it literally means on a certain angle with a certain ship on a certain island at some points. Perfectly. So that's why if you want to practice, if you want to play competitive, you need to understand what it takes to play competitive. And the practices are the most important thing. We even have a sheet for your attendance as well. So we will see if you attend or not 2 practices during and before the season. And also the games. We see everything, so we know everything that's going on in competitive at least. But this is for competitive I'm talking about.
So
For
I,
casual
I
players,
kind of
you'll
want
find that.
to I kind of want to expand upon that. So if the next clan season starts, even if you have that every ship that you have qualifies, if you don't show up for practice, don't expect to get fielded because you won't know our strategies.
Yeah, and that's a fact. That's not even those who show up get the play. Of course, if our strategy does not consist of that specific ship, I'm sorry.
User joined your channel.
We will try to acquaint sometimes a strategy based on that ship. We always try to change things up, and believe it or not, what was it? I think every week or so we changed up our meta, and people were following our meta. I think it was pretty much.
Yeah. After talking to the EU guys, clan battles over there, apparently the meta stayed extremely static throughout clan battle season, whereas the NA meta, if you were playing at Typhoon League or even at the Upper Storm League trying to get into Typhoon, the meta was constantly changing. For about 3-4 weeks in a row, we had to completely revamp all of our strats. It wasn't until the very, very, very end of the season when most of the clans already had their primary players with their flags, and we were able to just stick with one single meta. And that only lasted about a week.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of in the training room time and effort.
Yeah, because we go by timings, we go by a lot of things. But this is competitive we're talking about. So I just wanted to get all this down. Now, do any of you guys have any concerns or anything you want to tell me in specific? Is there anything you want to bring up? I need to know now, so that way I can think about it later and I can get back to you on it. But I would like to know and put it in the notes of anything that you have that comes to mind at the current moment.
Well, I don't know if this comes up to mind, but there's like two guys in my unit there in 5v5 I want to put up there, like a rank below me, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Because they have been helping out. They have helped me when I'm not able to get on. And to be honest, their ranks are not fitting for the jobs they've been doing.
Okay.
So you're wanting to promote people, but I think I think Mike was trying to get at specifically related to the spreadsheet and
No, it's things in general, Bradis. It's everything.
things in general. Okay.
So, Snipe, if you so choose to promote them and of what they're doing, what are they doing exactly and who are they?
I believe it's Drusen and Merlin. When I wasn't able to get on, they kept clan battles going.
Okay, first of all, I haven't seen Truson on here, and I'm on here, as you know, almost every single day except for the past 2 days.
He was on. He's
yesterday.
on
at night. He's on later.
Yeah.
Later.
Late at
Mike.
Night? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll make the exception there. If you want to promote Truson, I'll agree to it, as long as he fulfills his obligations.
And Merlin, Merlin.
I will explain things to all officers right now, which I'll have a meeting with right after this one. We'll go through everybody. 53, do you have anything you want to add on to this? I know.
No, I'm just listening.
Okay, Trout?
Nope.
AA? Or Morbid?
What?
Is there anything you want to add on to this meeting?
No, not really.
Okay. Christine?
Nope.
Thank you. Back in Black?
No, sir.
Bradis?
Are we going to be moving people out of 5D1
Yes,
now?
We will be moving people out of 5D1 fairly shortly. Right, I'll pretty much be moving people out of 5D1. Whoever doesn't make the qualifications or who has not been really showing up to practices from the last season. It's just for everybody to know this, so you know what's coming basically later on. Everybody will have second chances. Everybody will be playing in the beginning of next season. I will try everybody out like I did this season. I gave everybody chances to play and everybody chances to show up. If you didn't show up, you didn't play. And if you did play, you had to most likely either perform or you have to catch on quick, because the seasons you need to catch on quick, very quick. So, and we're looking for some skill sets as well. So, like you saw for the qualifications as well. Now, the guys who have the Stalingrad flag are grandfathered in, like Bradis explained earlier today. Is there anything else, Bradis?
That was it. Just as a heads up, if some of y'all have been noticing that a few of us have been over on the EU, some of our competitive team is trying to get things stood up to where we can scrimmage with our EU guys so that way we can scrimmage at at the same caliber of players for our competitive without having to share our strategies outside of 5D.
Yeah, they sort of been talking shit also that they're better than us. So we decided to say, hello, let's hammer you now.
That's all I had.
Yeah. Captain Old Bill, you got anything to add, buddy?
Only thing I got to add on this is you were talking about things in the game. I play this game with a lot of different strategies. Like this Battle of North Cape thing, I don't necessarily play the battle to win. I play to get what I need to get the points to get the stupid star. Okay. That's one of my pet peeves with wargaming and their stupid things that they have us do.
Okay.
So anyway.
Okay. Did you know for that Battle of the North Cape thing, to get those stars, you could restart the previous ones to re-get the stars that you've already acquired?
Yeah, I know that. But,
okay.
But it's still, it's you play I play differently with the ship sometimes, depending on what it has to, whether it's create a fire, damage a module, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm not so concerned with how many wins I get. That's what I'm trying to say. It's whether I'm playing the game the way I need to get it done in the time I have to work with it, and I have a lot more time than most people.
Well, as I said, that is some people's personal prerogative of how they want to play as well. But as I said, if you like to division up with people, it would be deeply appreciated. You know what I mean? And it would work a lot better if you divisioned up with people, and maybe some people could help you out.
Times yes, but a lot of times no, because then if you're divisioning up, you got to make a selection on who's going to play what, and how fast you can move.
Well, the Battle of the North Cape is still a while to go, so it's not that bad.
That's not 2 weeks.
Anyways, so is there anything else, Captain Oldbill?
I'm sorry, Josh. There's actually a few of us, like myself, Back in Black.
Breaking up bad, Morbid.
All right, about that. There's actually a few of us, like myself, Back in Black, Colin, and a few more, that will actually play with people that run lower tiers, because we don't care what tier we run, and we'd be more than happy to div up with you and play with you and help you.
But what he's saying is that he needs to wait, and he doesn't have the chance to wait. He has to just constantly grind. That's the issue. So he just
okay.
One after another, sort of. That's what he's trying to say.
Okay, then I misunderstood. Yeah, if I get into the battle, my ship goes down, I pop out and pop into another ship.
Yeah, he doesn't have to wait for the battle for everybody else to get out. That's
right.
No, but for the Battle of North Cape, I'm saying, but I'm just saying as a general basis, it would be nice if everybody could with each other. Okay.
I agree. I generally division every night. If my cronies come on, or whoever's in my clan.
Yeah. Well, you don't need to necessarily just do your clan. You could do other clans too. 5D1 through 7.
There's 5D Warships channel.
Yeah, 5D Warships channel as well. Which apparently I'm not on because it keeps deleting me out, which pisses me off. But anyways, that's a glitch in the game.
The glitch in the Matrix.
All right. Evel, is there anything?
No, I think I'm good.
You're good. Fish?
Good.
We should call him cannon fodder from now on.
No doubt.
We know where all that one came from. J-Mac?
Yeah. No.
Nope. Kegger?
Yeah, man. I wanted to bring up clan bullying, dude. I ran into Bradis on the playing field yesterday, and he tried to pick on me while I was playing with my cabbie. And needless to say, I corrected him.
Okay, can we just say if you red, you dead? Just put it that way. That's the law here.
Yeah, man.
Killer.
I had to put him down.
Especially, yeah, if you're on the other team and I know you're good, I'm gonna try to get you off the field.
Killer, what about you, buddy? Nope, nothing. Meisterbrow,
Yeah, I'm here.
you got anything to add, by the way, to the meeting?
No, I wish I could have played more. I had a lot of stuff on my plate this last season with Clan Wars. I liked what I got him when I did get to play, but I do need to go work on tactics with you. And just let you know, I've never been a cruiser driver, so put me in a cruiser is the most awkward position for me to play in.
Listen, we don't know what's coming next season. We know what was this season. Next season
Yeah.
could be tier 8s on 4 different other maps, including
Just
So
just let you know, I'm like Peg. I'm a DD driver, and that's where I excel in normally.
yeah, absolutely. And we expect you only to
User
pick the
joined your
first
channel.
2 to maybe 3 ships that you're best in. You know?
Can I say something, Mike?
Sure, Snipe.
I do have to say this. With clan battles, with what they did this time, it has proven the fact that it has shown us some weaknesses and where we can start working on. You can't always play the same ship over and over again. You have to be diverse.
Yeah,
I will second that motion. That's why we shouldn't sit there and farm massive numbers of battles, like, I don't know, 100 or 150 on a single ship.
That's not a lot of battles.
But I like playing everything.
Get over
Captain ranked up.
Okay.
If you're showing 7,000, if you're showing 7,000 battles in only battleships, and you're showing 100 to 200 battles in DDs and cruisers, you need to work upon your DDs and cruisers, because if you are used to other ships in all aspects, you don't have to worry about being bad or anything, because then you know how to play the ship. Yes, you get the terrible ships that Wargaming gives us, but at least it's a start,
Alright, Snipe, we'll get back to you on that one. Let's just try to get down the list.
Yeah.
What if you've got 25,000 battles, but they don't show up because they were all in alpha and beta?
Narmor, is there anything you'd like to add?
Nope, I'm good.
Alright. You sure? Because I know you guys were having some issues in the beginning of the clan battle season, and amongst the mid of it as well. So, you guys sure you guys are good? Where you're at and where you guys are standing? Because I know I brought you guys in from the clan with.
Well, quite frankly, with the holidays, we've been a bit disorganized and none of us have been on a lot. So, we'll be regrouping here in the next week or so.
All right, I would love to get a hold of you guys and see how everything's going and maybe talk with you guys again. Okay.
Sounds good.
Neighbor kid, anything you want to add?
Brace for impact.
Other than that, but anyways.
Man, the rubber duckies.
Wait.
All right, One-Eyed, what about you? Anything you want to add?
Nah, the only thing I say is for the guys that are struggling and wanting to learn, use the spreadsheet as a tool, not don't get intimidated by it. And grab guys that play, grab guys that you see with that supremacy tag, grab guys that you know that were playing clan battles earlier, and ask them to join up, tell them what you're working on, tell them what you want to work on, and pretty much all the officers are going to help you do that.
Right away.
I do kind of want to add on to that a little bit. There's just about every clan has at least one person that has a ship that qualifies. It may be a particular class, but maybe you try to div up with that person if you're on with them, and try to pick up some of what they're doing.
Yeah, so let's say if you want me in my Des Moines, that's what I was playing during clan battle season. I will teach you everything and anything there is to know about the Des Moines. And I'm working on Hindenburg right now, and I'm learning that thing, and I'm fucking loving it. Montana I know, Yamato I know, Minotaur I know, off the
Hey,
back of my
wake
head.
up.
All these ships I know off by heart. I'm not going to say that I know everything. Z-52 is not one of them because I don't have it yet. The Pan Asian's not one of them. The gearing definitely ain't one of them. I'm not a DD player. I am a cruiser battleship player. I used to be a carrier destroyer player. So, but I moved away from that. So, I'm leaning more to the cruisers now. I like the DPS. But
And
um one I just brought me up a nice little poke, and he's right on this. We're gonna bring back trainer tags with a giant T next to it, so you'll be able to see who's a trainer, and you'll be able to ask any questions you need to. Okay, and even if you want to schedule something with them, we will bring back for scheduling with personal trainers of where to go, how to do things, and where to play the ship, and maybe you can even play with them, and they'll show you around the maps. You know, so we'll look at that as well.
Sounds awesome.
All right, Red Wing, anything you want to add, buddy?
I'm an alpha player. I've got 20,000 games in alpha and beta, and I stopped playing for a long time because I didn't quite like the direction the game was going. I'm pretty much a casual player. My highest tier is a tier 8 destroyer. I don't know a whole lot about the meta game at this point, but I'm willing to learn if someone wants to take the time to teach me.
Well, you gotta ask. You gotta ask that person for the time because we don't know that you really. We can't. We don't need to. We can't come up to everybody and say, "Hey, do you want the time for me to train you?" You
No,
gotta.
I understand that, but I don't know who to ask. That's the point.
That's why we're gonna give out trainers tags, and anybody with the supremacy tag, especially with the giant S next to their name, automatically you know that they are players who have played in the supremacy, which I'm gonna give a couple out back again just to say that they're trainers tags, temporary trainers tags, that we get the trainer tags up.
You can always ask an officer, and they can point you in the right way too.
Yeah, lieutenants are higher pretty much. All right, Rob White, anything you want to add?
just I've some people were saying, oh, I only play mostly battleships or a certain class. One thing that is helpful I've learned is playing the other classes and learning what they do to do well. Because then you know what to expect from them and where their weaknesses are going to be and where to expect them.
This comes down to another thing, okay? When you're talking about everybody learning every other ship in the game too, you have to look at how much time they have on their hands to actually learn all those ships in the game.
Well, I'm not saying every other ship, but learning at least a cruiser line if you've never played cruisers can be helpful. Because then you can know where they're likely to screw up.
That's true. I will give him credit where he says it's true. I would recommend at least grinding down one line of each just for you to learn what they're all about. We'll give you recommendations of which cruiser line. There's no best cruiser line, by the way. There's no best battleship line. There's no best.
Debatable.
Okay, I'll admit the American battleships are kind of the most diverse in my eyes for battleships. And they're sort of a very easygoing line, actually.
Guys, if you don't, I'm sorry, Mike. If you don't have time to play every ship in the game, which most of us don't, YouTube the ships and you can see their weaknesses, you can see their strength. Flamu, I like watching Flamu. He's very knowledgeable about the game. You can see what ships are strong at where and where they should be positioning. So that's easy. It takes 10 minutes to watch a YouTube video and you can get a lot of knowledge off of that. And just because you don't grind that line, you can get the basic information of that ship.
If I can just throw in there, he's done some videos recently on the qualities of different cruiser and destroyer lines. I haven't seen the other ones, but I assume eventually get to BBs and stuff. Also, the top 10 premiums currently available.
Yeah, I think it was like Alma. Oh. Missouri's always going to take the spot because it fucking makes money. Makes money.
Yeah.
Anyways, so like I said, if you need any knowledge about the ships, we are more than happy to give it to you. And also, if you have any ships, we'll even give you videos for reference as well. I am gonna try to start making more YouTube videos on my YouTube page about each ship. And I'm gonna try to get some videos up about the tier 10s, especially because I know how people love getting their first tier 10s, but then after that they don't really know how to play it. So I'm going to show you a basic of every tier 10 in the game, except for the German and Pan Asian DD line, because those are the only two I don't have. But I'll give you a down low on every other DD in the line. Okay. Maybe I'll use somebody else's replays, like One Eyes or something, with a ridiculous gearing match or some stupid thing like that. Make it look pretty as well, because I'm shit. So, but I understand the basics of these ships. All right, let's continue going down the line. Snipe, is there anything you want to add? Or I think he's already added everything. Spartius, anything else?
Yeah, I'm probably going to end up making a sheet that does the exact same thing as that big massive one. The only difference it'll be one person. So, and I'll probably post it on the Facebook page or on the website, so that way anybody will be able to go on there at any time. All you have to do is type your name in, and it'll bring up, do you qualify on blah 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 ships, and that'll be much faster and practically instant kind of thing.
If you can, try to make that sheet show somewhat of an improvement over 1 month, so they could see where they're improving on as well. It might help them out too.
That's doable, yeah. I could do that.
So you guys will be able to see also what your progress is over a 1 month period.
Yeah, but I can do that. It's just that it'll only work on one person at a time. So it'd be one of those things where
yeah, it's a personal sheet.
Yeah. Well, it'd be open for anybody to use, but they'd have to go to the website and open it.
Yeah, they just need to save the webpage.
I gotta make it first.
Everybody can save these sheets off. Just save it as a copy, and then you can make the modifications as needed for yourself if you need to.
That's true. You can do that too.
Alright, so Skonix, anything you wanted to add, buddy? Nope. Shravid?
He typed something.
I didn't see what he typed. Is there anything you wanted to add, Shrav?
No, I'm good, thanks.
You're good. Airbear's not here. Phantom? I guess Phantom's not here. Steppen, you there?
I'm cool.
User joined your channel.
Good. M2 Meduse?
All good here.
You're all good. Admiral Drum, what about you, buddy?
I'm good.
Okay, Georgios is away. Logan?
I'm good.
Okay, so has everybody understood what's going on and how we're going to implement things and what you can do to improve as well and where the clan is going as well with everything?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so I wish you guys the best of luck. Go kill some ships. I need to talk to all my current officers. Please and thank you. All officers in the officers' ward room, please.
User left channel your channel. Switched. User joined your channel. User joined your channel. User joined your channel.
Bring Spartius down, or no?
He doesn't want to be an officer.
No, he doesn't.
He can suck it up.
User was moved to your channel. User joined your channel. User was moved to your channel.
Alright, so now I'm gonna
Snipe's not here.
User
I'm moving
was moved
Snipe.
to your channel.
Now I'm gonna give you all a fucking boot in your ass, except for Trout, Mr. Trout over here. And
Oh, Shravid.
User was moved to your channel.
And for Mr. Trout over here, and Kegger for recent. Bump our fucking post on the fucking WoW's website already, okay? I'm the only one that's doing it, and Trout's the only one that's doing it. Alright? I'm gonna give you guys shit words due. Okay? It's not that hard. Before you get on the game, just go on the website and just click bump on the bloody thing. Also, go on the recruitment posts and message some people. We're running out of fucking members, man. Have you guys not noticed this? We're getting dry. We used to have 40, 50 members on the weekends at all times. And right now we're running dry at like 30, 20 people at a time. At most. The EU's beating us right now. Don't get me wrong, they have more of a player basis. But the EU's beating us, which is not normal.
We've been playing EU recently.
No,
That's where all your people are going.
It's the same old
Yeah.
people. I haven't been
Yeah.
seeing too many new bloods. And why? Is because we're not recruiting.
I did recruit one guy. I I
You
recruited the guy.
recruited one guy, Bradis. Fuck, man.
Still,
Fuck. It's not one guy we're looking at. We're looking at the
I still
overall.
I recruited though.
It's the overall aspect.
I know.
We're looking at the overall aspect here, okay? We are trying to build the clan as big as possible. I don't care what we do right now. I want to steal members from other clans because these other clans, in my eyes right now, half of them are full of shit. Okay, they're
Nice.
just bringing in people to say that they have people in their clan.
Can I say
What are you talking about bumping?
Yeah, I don't even
clan?
see it.
Okay, let me get on the webpage. 2 minutes.
It's in the forms
When
for.
what he means by bumping a post is when you go to a forum post on our recruitment thread, when you bump it, it brings it to the head of the line.
Yeah.
All right. So if you find the 5D recruitment post on page 5, just get in there, go to be the last post, type the word bump, and it will bring the recruitment post
back up to the first page.
Back up to the front.
I found it on the 5th page at one point. The 5th page.
Shit, I hate this website.
For a month.
Yeah, but where is it at now?
Right now, it's like 5th or it's a 7th in line. Okay, which isn't that bad. But we need to constantly be on the first page. We cannot be on the 2nd or 3rd page because the first thing these guys do is they go on the first page, they look at what clans are recruiting. They say, okay, these clans are constantly on.
Well, that's easy. Just bookmark that sucker to your desktop. You click on it, it'll open up that post, and you can just bump it every time.
Exactly. So, guys, please do this every single day. Another thing is, though, if you look at the team play, you're going to see Find Your Division. On Find Your Division is people who are looking for clans at the current moment. Okay? We need to get out to these forum posts, and we need to start messaging people in-game and on the forums more often. Before you get
Wow, this is the first time I've ever heard any of this.
Well, I'm telling you now. I'm telling us all right now, and we're going to tell all future officers right now. I've been the only one that's been messaging half these fucking people before they get into clans. You understand? And all I ask is before you get onto the game, I will put up a post in there. I'll say, listen, come to this webpage. If you see my post on or any of our guys' post on, you know that that guy's been messaged. So what you do is you message him in game, and you message him on the forum post. And what this allows us to do is that he has double messages, and he knows we're trying to recruit him, and he'll possibly come onto our TS. Okay? That gives us the opportunity to recruit new people. Then we will see if they have 1,500 battles and the whole 9 yards. Maybe they're a good player with 1,500 battles. Maybe they have like a 60% win rate, and they're developing a second account. I don't see why not. Okay? But the concept is that these are new recruits, and we need to start bringing in new blood as soon as possible right now, because we do not have enough of it right now. It's all the same old people.
Can I say something?
Sure, go ahead.
Also, if you try to get the people in the lower tiers, there you just solve half of your problem for the potato players. You're right there.
Yeah, if we bring... Let's just say it this way, okay? If we bring in potato players, we can at least improve on some of those potato players and allow them to actually become good players, which in turn brings the whole World of Warship's client basis. We can donate to the client basis of having less potato teams and less potato players. And 5D is the only clan that has that ability right now, is because we are a social and competitive clan. No other clan is like us. We have the opportunity to develop into something fucking more. And I see it, and it's not being done. And right now, I say we have to get it done. What do you guys think?
Sooner we get it.
I say we set some minimum requirements. I think, honestly, 45% win rate with 1,000 battles at this point. Because most new players don't even have past 1,000 fucking battles. Okay? Half of them don't have 1,000 battles, and half of them are not even past 45% win rates. But at least those players who are, at least we can develop them. They're workable, you know? Even so, if they have 20,000 average damage because they're shit, what did you guys come with in sub points? Bradis, what did you come in here with? We all started out somewhere.
Oh yeah, I was like 48% win rate whenever I first started.
Yeah, exactly. We all started somewhere, and we have the opportunity to develop these players. We have to take the time now. Now is an opportunity. We have the opportunity because what I'm noticing now is there's a lot more newer players. The guys who are like 5,000 plus battles are calming down their gameplay. They're not playing as much as anymore, or they're into these heavy competitive clans. TSF, APOC, OPG, all these guys are in there, and they're not recruiting the best. They're not recruiting the players who they need to develop. They're recruiting players who are already developed. You understand? And if we get to mold some newer players, then we could become a way bigger clan than any of these guys have ever seen. What do you guys say to this? What do you guys think?
Yeah, it just takes more work to develop players. I don't
Well,
have a problem with it.
Well, that's the thing. You have to be willing to put the work in order to be developed. You can't just say it sounds like a lot of work. It is a lot of work. But if we work together, it gets done.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not asked. We're not.
We're right now. How many officers are we right now? If you look at in here right now, we're like 10 officers, let's say. Okay, we're 10 officers here alone, and we have more officers on the side. If we were to take the time and just each of us do one time a day, we will constantly be on the top of the recruitment post, and we will. And let's say we all just looked at it, we refresh the page. Once after the match, refresh the page, see if somebody has a new recruitment post. Bang, give them a recruitment shot. You know, right off the bat, in the middle of the match. Or let's say Bradis, you're in a match, and J-Mac's out because J-Mac died before Bradis. Not sure if that happens often, but
Damn, Bradis, you gonna take that?
Yeah. I guess so. Fuck.
I'm joking. But anyways, I just want to have some fun with him. So let's say if one of you guys are out of the match, and the other one's still in there, go on the recruitment post, get out of your game for like 2 seconds, refresh it real fast, look if somebody has posted a new recruitment post that they want to join a clan, and message them.
Problem with that, Mike, is Wargaming is stupid when they built the forum. It seems like I can't get onto the forums unless I get out of the game.
No, that's not true. You have to sign in on the Warship's website. Maybe that's your issue. Because you have to physically sign into the Warship's website. You got to make sure your name's on the top right. And it has sometimes that issue where it's not working.
Okay,
it logs you out.
Maybe my computer is just stupid.
Yeah, but you have to make sure you're logged in. But you can be in the game and logged in on the website at the same time. I've done it 1,001 times. But
okay.
But like I said, we need to get on the recruitment, and we gotta get on it now while it's fresh. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these clans are recruiting fairly quickly.
And also, there's some of the people are leaving the clans because they're asking way too much of people who don't feel like they are obligated to do it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like
what's that?
If we look at it, like Hafari is a fairly new clan, you know, and they're gaining members. I've looked up all these top clans, and they're gaining members slowly but surely. ARP, another one. But if we look at some of their recruitment posts, you know, ARP, they have a WTR of 1,100 or higher. You know how hard it is? Half the players in the game don't even have 1,100 or higher WTR rating. Win rate of 50%, 3/4 of them don't have that. Owns at least 2 tier 8 ships, which both are which are in the tech tree, non-premium ships. Yeah, sure. You know, they're not high requirements, but we're planning on putting a little bit lower requirements than that. You know what I mean?
For like social stuff or for competitive stuff?
No, for social stuff.
Gotcha.
The idea is to get them in here for social and then groom them for competitive.
Yeah, gotcha.
Find the guys that you want.
Yeah.
Exactly, because ask how J-Mac, Bradis, and all these guys, we kind of groomed each other into becoming competitive players. We didn't just become competitive players overnight. You know what I mean?
It takes.
Or you can just use me as an example.
Yeah, exactly. Starship, how much did I groom you this season alone?
Oh my God, you freaking yelled at me so many times.
Especially
but yeah, I got it. I got it. I
Oh.
understood what you were saying too, and I knew it too. But that's the key about it, recognizing it and understanding it.
Yeah. So the grooming aspect needs to come in, and I'm willing to take the time with a lot of players. I just don't have the patience with. I have patience with players. I just don't have patience with players who don't want to fucking listen. That's a whole different world for me. You know?
Can't be a Georgios.
Well, listen, we're not gonna go there right now, okay?
No, but
no. Listen, Georgios had his issues. I had issues with Georgios too. I've had issues with a lot of players before, but I'm not gonna talk bad about the guy because he wanted to improve. He had not malice intentions, but he had bad execution. That's the difference. Okay?
okay.
I'm looking for the good intention, but I'm also looking for the commitment in competitive at least. He didn't
I'll be right
have
back,
the
guys.
commitment just yet. So, everybody has good intentions, they just have bad execution. So, there's sort of a balance between the two. But right now we're not talking about that. Right now, we're talking about bringing in new members, and that's our first priority right now. And that's what we got to look at. So, do any of you have something against this, as in terms of going onto the forums before you log in, bumping that recruitment post, and checking for people who are on and who are looking for a clan? It's not hard. It takes 5 minutes of your time. I do it every day before I even get on. Before I get on TS, I do it.
First of all, I'm still new to the website, as in terms of I don't really get on unless I need to.
A website? Are you talking about 5D website?
Yeah.
This is Wargaming
website, buddy.
Oh. Well,
Yeah, this is the official World of Warships
World of Warships
forum.
website. This is the World of Warships forums. This is their direct forums. This is where people go.
Well, I'm about to take a look.
People go, don't you know?
Yeah. So people don't go to our website to go look for a clan. They go on the World of Warships website, the one that they know. They have an account on it.
Yeah. One other thing I would mention is while you're in our TeamSpeak, every once in a while, get out of the game and look to see if somebody is sitting in the entrance that has no tags.
Please do that. Oh my god, I have my eye on the entrance all the time.
You gotta understand, I got poked last night, and I was told I was probably the only officer on that was able to help the guy that was there last night.
Yeah.
Had I not been, there were a good recruit because, I played with him and he's not that half bad of a player.
Yeah, I mean, if I come in, I mean, I don't. This is something that I have to consciously do. But I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've come in and found somebody just sitting in the lobby waiting for somebody to show up to help them.
Yeah. So that literally needs to get addressed as soon as possible. Or if you have to, keep your TS open to the point where. Do any of you guys have to? Do all of you or some of you who has 2 screens here?
I run TS the whole time, Mike.
Yeah, I run 2 screens.
You run 2 screens? Okay. Well,
But I usually have it scrolled up to where
you can see who comes into your room.
Yeah.
Overlay, get Overwolf overlay. It allows.
It stopped working on mine.
It's never worked for me. I have never got that thing to work.
Some people's Overwolf, when they install it, either lag, it doesn't work, or it is.
Mine stopped working.
Well, I'll have to probably check it with with TeamViewer to see how I can help you with that. But I've had mine working all the time, so I don't know. Maybe it's you, maybe it's me, maybe it's something else. But
I get pulled down to the entrance a lot and help a lot of people in and out. But I mean, you're not going to catch every time somebody pops in and out. But like he said, just be aware of it.
Bardius, I need to get with you after this.
Oh, okay.
So, is everybody okay with this aspect of clan recruitment and bumping these posts constantly?
So you go to the post and literally.
Now that you show me the link and stuff like that, sure thing.
Just go to reply on the bottom right, I think it is, and if you go there and let's see, you go to 5th Dimension competitive, and you go to reply to this topic. on the top right and just type in bump, okay, or whatever recruitment thing you want to put in, it'll
I
automatically
just did
bring
it.
it to the first top of the list on that list. You understand?
Okay.
So you got to do
All you're doing is nudging the thread to the front of the line.
Yeah, which is what you want to do, is that way everybody sees that thread first thing.
Yeah, when somebody checks the posts, they click on the thread and they come to the first page.
I'm with you.
It. I mean, if they want to scroll through, they're going to see 1,000 bumps and whatnot, but they'll always get to the front page.
Yeah, and the first thing they'll do is look at the first top 10. They'll look at the first 10 clans and they'll go, which one do I want to join now?
Yeah,
How do I
the first page. You know, most people don't even think about going to page 2.
Yeah.
Forget about page 3. They might as well be in another fucking planet.
How do I bump the post?
I already did it. I just did it.
Okay, don't need to do it 10 times today. Okay, we've done it already today.
That can actually cause negative.
Yeah, repercussions. So, if you see that it's bumped to the first page, down to, let's say, the 8th once it's past, like, the 8th marker, the 8th section of the top of the first page, and you notice that, then bump the post, okay? If it's before the 8th, don't bother touching it, okay?
Yeah, personally, I usually don't bump it until it hits page 2, but that's me, I'm weird.
Yeah, that's fine. I completely agree with you. It's fine to do it that way too. But normally people just take the top take the top 10, and then after that they normally go to one of the top 10 that they like. You understand? They'll see 18 plus. They'll see fun, competitive, whatever. I'm gonna have to tell Minter Steel to remove that active group fun competitive 18 plus. It looks more like competitive clan than non-competitive. I'm just gonna tell him put him casual / competitive, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then if they're not at the age requirement.
Yeah, we'll put that in afterwards. It's not appealing, so.
Yeah, you don't.
That's not
You're not
true.
looking for an age. You're looking for a level of maturity.
Well, here's the thing. The reason we want to put level maturity, because I am going to bring in the army I'm part of. You got some dumbasses over there who are like 16, 17. Some of them act like they're 18, but then you got the ones that act like they want to be 5 years old.
Yeah, I mean, I've played with squeakers. I mean, 10, 12, 13-year-olds in other clans that were very mature. And I've played with 30-year-olds that might as well have been a fucking 10-year-old the way they acted.
Well, here's the thing. No offense to anybody that's that age, but they think they've done their life expectancy, that they should get away with anything and everything in the game.
Oh, I know.
It's not everybody. It's just the ones that want to ruin everything for everybody else.
Well, listen, we're not talking about that right now. I'm just asking that we bump the recruitment posts and you reply to the people who are looking for a division. Which, if you go to the WoW's discussion, general WoW's discussion, you go to team play, you're going to see find your division. Right there is where you find people who are posting up and they're saying, I want a clan. Who do I talk to? That's what they're asking to everybody in the world right now. You understand? I've really replied to about 15 of these guys, other than the guys that I've seen that have basically 50 battles, which I'm not interested in recruiting. I'm interested in 1,000 plus battles at least. Because those guys, at least we have a chance of keeping them in the clan. The guys who have like 50 battles and who buy a tier 8 are those guys who are like, okay, I want to play the game, I suck balls, and I need majorly fucking training. And I don't understand nothing. So I don't want that in here. I still want a base, at least a baseline level. You know what I mean? A workable level. So.
Something we can start with.
Alright, does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to conclude the meeting for today. I hope all of you guys understood where I want to come from and what I'm expecting of you guys to do. I'm not expecting you guys to do much. This is 5 minutes of your time, guys. Alright? Before you come on, just do that for 5 minutes. And please have your eyes on the entrance once in blue. When I run 2 screens, I have my TeamSpeak overlay in my game, and I have my other TeamSpeak on the thing looking at the entrance at all times. 90% of the time, I'm catching those recruits 90% of the time right away. So, alright?
Sounds good.
Okay, everybody got it?
Yep.
Okay.
Alright, so this will conclude the meeting for now, okay?
All right. Thank you, Mike.
Disconnected.